ourselves, no matter city or country, lonely or lovely, careless or careful. A book bag bookmarked how much further along you were. For me to say anything would be undermining. Business was low this time of year.
And the rest of the numbers in pi and space. This is more enjoyable to write than it is for you to read, and totally different when I speak it. A staple makes a stipple is a paper.
You know, a good stapler is hard to find. I once spent half a day driving around trying to find one that was ergonomic, with the right amount of oomph and power, and just the right shade of green. But when I found it, boy, was that a day for the record books. See, I do a lot of stapling for my part-time job in the elementary school. I usually go there after the kids have all gone home and staple mountains and mountains of worksheets, handouts, and exams, and I prefer to staple in silence. The rhythm of the stapler, ka-chunk, ka-chunk, ka-chunk.
Sounded like no, not the whom or what feeling storm blanket, covering lakes running from sleep, blood, city, chapter, hating fields of this rounded spot, a space never seen, as it was but only to imagine pain, only pain, veins warm.
Dylan, and his style of poetry, I really crave for that style of like cryptic, sort of just not so cool, but it's super cool because it's not trying to be cool. And it doesn't even have to rhyme or whatever. And also, I'm a writer myself, but I never remember more personal pieces. For some reason, the more general topics are a lot easy for me to remember, I guess. So I wanted to come and support, and see what NtrActive could present, and I was stoked. So and I have to read it from my phone because, as I mentioned, I can't really remember. My sister popped up on me. I just moved into my place. I had been homeless for a couple of years, off and on. And my sister, she's 19. She just moved in with me for a second until further notice. That has been one of the most unexpected and unpredictable experiences for me in my life. Because I have a daughter, and I would never imagine being in this type of situation my sister's in. We both know my father, but that has proven to be more of a detriment than a benefit. I cherish the day. I cherish the day. I cherish the day. The air split and angles saying, "This is your sister." And really, she is all there is to gain. She is a star farthest away. You will recall her face in your very darkest of shade. And I couldn't have wished for more of an awesome fate. She taught me patience and even made it all okay. Now, that's a favor awfully tall to repay. So as I grew, sort of always knew a father's place. At least I thought, but didn't know to see till I heard the beat of my daughter's heart start to palpitate. Or the way her mama taught her to say Papa's name. All just came as the strangest change, because Granny only had a daddy to blame. Never there or even cared to explain the game given. Didn't compare or contain the embrace it takes to set us straight or the stage for which she dances, just as handsome as a batch of jasmine. Passion like a pack of matches striking flame ablaze, laying claim with the faintest accents, a touch of callous, practically enough to balance gladly arranged, advantaged between trash canisters and banistered palaces, as one man's challenge to another's canvas. Brother Saturn, hailing from the land of Atlantis.
Hey, look at that butterfly up in the air. I wonder if that butterfly is going anywhere. And over there is a squirrel climbing up a tree. I have to say that squirrel looks as bored as he could be. Oh, look at me. Oh, look at me. I'm just as bored as a squirrel in a tree. I bet that butterfly is somewhere else he'd rather be than sitting on some stupid bush and shaking like a leaf. And the weather's getting colder and the squirrel's growing old. He's got no home to call his own, no shelter from the cold. And then there's me. Oh, look at me. I'd do anything to live up in a tree.
Okay. Here's the stupid one. Velvet lip, sponge chest, curl, swank trigger, blunder, squeeze, anchor, bleed, love, sweat, tear, bell, outing, blasting, swing, tree, wind, upping, horror, hanging, rock, ball, avalanche, micro building, space, never always for whom, and which dare notice played down, and reach found deep image, shadowed sun, strung, outing, freeze, moment, as a claimed river, wild bridge, broken sway, rounding, repeat endless brain, pounding, ordeal, meter.
The thing about the trigger is you lay your finger along the rail until you intend to shoot.
This is a reflection of thoughts of like how I've found people perceiving me and how I've found myself perceiving myself. Okay. Wanting makes me want to want nothing. The more I go down my path, the more I stand by myself, and the taller I stand, and the less I want, but the more I feel alone. Two slugs got, no, I'm not gonna stop it.
There's nothing behind your time. The songs are getting harder to write. See things in blink, there's no beautiful phrase, and the sky shifts from work to night. It's like my nightmares have been dreaming, and the forecaster can't see anything.
Making poetry, poetry. I want to be playing at poetry, poetry. Making money, dun 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 dun. Like my favorite rappers, a master. Just like magnetic poetry, poetry. All jumbled up but profound. I'm all up in your morning business. You can't miss this. Refrigerator poetry, poetry. I'd rather be making money, dun 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 dun. Playing at poetry. Thank you.
Organizing my pen collection, I heard a similar sound coming from down the hall. At first I thought, Mom and Dad must be doing some late night stapling. Then I saw the stapler on my desk next to my paper clip collection. And turns out my parents and another man were in their room. All naked, with their genitals out, doing some kind of dance that made them very sweaty and vocal. Ever since that night, the sound of the stapler brings back those fond memories. Part 2.
I stand barefoot and bruised in my hippie tuxedo. Water-worn rocks scrape my soul's raw as the sun dances between broken shadows. Before I rose for this crisp-aired, lucid walk through a past life home, I took note of a thorned leaf whose allies spread across the dirt like an army with an uncertain enemy. In it, a perfect heart laid itself in the absence of a center. I contemplated what it will be like to feel them cling and sting my soles as my head dropped beneath my back and I resigned to the open sky. The leaves on my path proved to be contrary, broken and softened from a pressure they had no control of. I found a dry riverbed where I might find peace in the day for a nap. The ghost of the river swelled around my ankles as the abandoned minerals sighed ecstasy between my toes. A large boulder, a crevice for my head, the sound of small leaves gently brushing up against each other, the smell of clean air, full breaths. I shifted where I lay, to find where my body fits in stone. Sleep comes.
As I rush into the ocean, jumping into tubes of perfection, the only thing I could think of was how I miss my internet.